Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we have a very interesting guest from Wuben. This is the L1. This is not a flashlight. This is a Wuben ECL. So, look at that. Comes with a razor blade. Do you know why it did that? Because it has a magnetic tail cap. Alright. Let's open it up. So right here it shows the candela and the beam distance. Alright. So it claims 350 meters and a candela of over 30,000. Alright, that's good to know. Alright, so it comes with this nice little flashlight holder. And this was easier for me to get out the first time. I don't know. But I took everything out and then repackaged it. So that's why it's a little janky. So it comes with a Wuben lanyard, some extra O-rings, and USB-C to USB-C charging cord. So that's interesting. And it does say Wuben on there. I need better lighting. So I'm in my second location, which is in my son's room. I'm sorry, the lighting's just not as good in here as it is out in my workstation. But this is cool. I'm happy to see that. And then this holster, I'm guessing this is for a spare battery, but I usually carry a pen whenever there's one of these. And then it is fitted for a Molite jacket. And then underneath there, you can stick your belt through it. And it also has a D-ring. But just a nice little addition from Wuben. Alright. Have our instructions. And it is a leaflet. Large instructions. Oh, okay. So I was looking for this earlier and I just overlooked it. So there's the 350 meters and 30,000 candela. Alright, get this out of the way. And then it's just nice how they have this little tab right here. Wuben just always adds a little extra. And I like these new boxes. Alright. So if you don't know, this is a 2-channel light and a double emitter light. So it has a floodlight with a Fresnel lens. It's a P9 by Osram, and it's in a 5000K, which I actually like. I'm not a big fan of the P9, but that was all because they were the 6500s, I believe. But I actually don't mind this tint. And like at first I thought it was a Nichia LED because it actually looks pretty clean, and I mean it almost looked like it was high CRI, but I did take a measurement and I did take this apart, took this off to check the LED, and it's a P9, but still not bad. And it is much brighter than the Nichia, quite significantly brighter. And then in the front we have a large smooth reflector with an SST-40. And like it said, it says it can throw 350 meters and it's over 30,000 candela. And I believe it. I took this out tonight with my dog in the park, and I throw the ball, you know, quite a long distance, and this thing lit up the whole park easily. Granted, it does get very hot. So it claims 2,000 lumens, and in the instructions it says it can hold the 2,000 lumens for 30 seconds, and then it steps down. I don't know if it drops all the way to 320, but the manual says it drops down to 320, and there it will last for 7 hours. The high setting, let's go through these. So this is turbo, and to turn turbo off, I haven't found a way to like go back to the mode. So the only way I've been able to go back like without turning it off is to hold the throw button, and then it'll step down to low. Okay, so this is high, and this is 1,000 lumens, and you know, I don't know if I'm reading something wrong, but it says 1,000 lumens for 30 seconds, and then it steps down to 320 lumens, and it'll hold that for 8.5 hours. All right, medium, this is 320 lumens, and it'll hold this for 9 hours. Kind of went in reverse here. Low, 35 lumens, it'll hold this for 60 hours. All right, so that's the throw, and it even has kind of like a throw icon on there, like a concentrated beam. Turn that off, and then the floodlight, the Osram P9 Fresnel lens, is down below, and it's got little lines coming out to the sides. So let's go from the right direction here this time. So this is low, this is 25 lumens, and it'll hold this for 90 hours. So if you're in an emergency situation, I would recommend using this light. When we go up to medium, this is 380 lumens. Quite a significant increase, and it'll hold this for 7 hours. And then we have high, and it says it'll hold it for 30 seconds, and then it steps down to 380 lumens where it'll hold that for 6.5 hours. So it's really easy to use, you know, and you have the two different buttons. One thing to be careful, these buttons do turn on in your pocket. So I had this in my pocket and it turned on. So I didn't, there was no, I've looked for ways to lock this, and there wasn't anything in the instructions. So if you're gonna carry this light, I recommend half turning and the lights are off. All right, so the specs on this thing, I'll go over that real quick. It does have an impact resistance rating of 1.5 meters, 4.5 feet, and it is IP68 rated. So you can submerge it in up to 2 meters of water for 30 minutes. So the only way that it's going to be able to achieve that, this flap needs to be closed. And this is a new flap from Wuben. I like how this is more flimsy, and it just kind of gets out of the way so I can charge it. But let's say you're going into a wet environment, it is a little tricky to get to stick and stay in there. So just if you're going in a wet environment, just be careful and make sure this is shut securely. All right, the weight is 170 grams, and that's without the battery. So that's roughly about 6 ounces. And then the length of this thing is 128.2 millimeters. Width, it's pretty much the same. The widest point is 28 millimeters. Not too wide for a light with a 21700 battery and a dual option emitter system. That's 5.4 inches long and then 1.10 inch wide. So there's some really, let's look at the build now, really nice anodization, like really, really nice. Wuben does some really good anodizing, in my opinion. And, you know, they do a ton of different colors, but their black is on point. This tail cap has very aggressive knurling. I do like that, as the rest of it's really smooth, but then there's, you know, awkward angles and places to grab easily in other places on the light. Plus this belt clip. So this is kind of interesting. It's not a deep carry as the light. I mean, it's deep carry right here, but you know, the head, or you can turn it around. Gosh, just turn them both on. But you can turn it around and then stick it in lightweight down. And then it does say, like, it tells you right here, and that looks like it's laser engraved. It says 180 degrees. And the same thing on the flood lens. So you can take this off. Granted, it's kind of tough to get started. There's a look at the Fresnel lens. And then there's the P9. But, I mean, super clean. That's what you get with Wuben. MCPCB is clean. Solder joints are nice and shiny, and it's clean. Many other companies' products are not this clean, and looks like there's an aluminum MCPCB, but that's okay as it's 1,000 lumens and under. If anytime you have an aluminum MCPCB, and let's say you're working with a high lumen light, like, I'm sorry, a high lumen LED, like an XHP50 or a 70, you need to have a copper MCPCB, SFT40, SST40, SST70, copper MCPCB. All right. And these buttons are very easy to feel. It's very easy to identify, like, where things are in the dark. Oh, I forgot to check what the battery indicator light is. So, let me think. Okay, so when this light is solid blue for 5 seconds, that means the battery is over 90%. When it blinks for 5 seconds, blue light blinks for 5 seconds, that means it's in between 90% and 40%. And when this light is red, it says for 5 seconds, but just if it's red, it's in between 40 and 15%. And then blinking red, that's going to be below 15%. 15, 1, 5. All right. Let's take a look inside, see what we have in here. Oh, and there is a very strong magnet on this, as this is a heavier flashlight. You know, the flashlight itself is 170 grams with a battery significantly heavier. Looks like there's a decent sized magnet in there. It is a shallow spring, but it is rather stiff, and it is gold plated. And it looks like we have gold plated contacts for good conduction and resistant to oxidization. When we look down in there, pretty stiff spring, and it is gold plated. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah. Go. But just, I mean, everything looks the way a flashlight should. There's nothing out of place. Just built really well. Wuben does make some really nice products, in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I really like Wuben. Alright, the battery is 4,800 milliamp hours. 21,700. And in my experience, these lights do work with flat tops as well. Not proprietary. But yeah, I like Wuben. I like the direction they're in. I like how they're really kind of revolutionizing this right angle form factor, 180 degree construction. But I do wish there was a way to lock this. Granted, it's not hard to just half twist, but it would be nice if I could keep this ready at all times and locked and ready. Alright, so that's a look at the Wuben T1. Let's take this outside and see what it looks like in the dark. Hey guys, I'm out here with the Wuben L1. Pretty basic, as Wuben's UI is usually pretty easy to deal with. Alright, so this is the thrower part, the SST40. This is low, medium, high, and then turbo. And with turbo I can see like the entire area out to 200 yards. So decent amount of light, pretty decent sized hotspot, and good spill. And for strobe, click 3 times. Click 3 times again for SOS. And there is no beacon, so 1 click to exit. And then while it's on turbo, I can turn on the flood portion, the Osram P9, and it can go as high as medium. So it's nice to be able to see my feet as I'm shining the light out nice and far. Alright, so now we're going to go to the Osram P9, the flood portion. And this is low, medium, high, and that's as high as it gets. No strobe or anything like that with the flood portion. And if you hold the top switch, your thrower switch, it will start in low. Granted, there's no moon mode. So this is low, medium, high, turbo. And let me show you. So I can turn on the flood portion while I have turbo. So super cool, you know, or you can kind of turn them side by side. All right, let me turn off the thrower portion. All right, so here is the flood. This is low. And this is 5,000 kelvins. I was really surprised at how nice this beam is and the tint. Usually I'm not a huge fan of the P9, but this is a decent beam. And the Fresnel lens really complements it well. Produces a really large hot spot and just a nice neutral tint. I honestly thought it was high CRI. Granted, it's only about 70 CRI, but it looks pretty good to me. And I think it's very innovative. Just this whole 180-degree form factor that Wuben's really capitalizing on. Anyways, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe. I do appreciate it. The rest of you guys, you stay bright, and I will see you in the next video. Stay classy.